Hello everyone and welcome. So in this video, I'm going to talk about higher order functions and Lambda functions. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in Python, every function is a first class object, which means that they can be stored as variables and other data structures like dictionaries and lists. They can be passed in as arguments in a function, and they can be returned by a function. But there are certain functions in Python that can take a function as an argument and can return functions. Those are called higher order functions. Let me give you an example of just a higher order function first, then I'll talk about lambda functions, and then I'll give you some examples of higher order functions written as lambdas. So I'm going to create a function called get volume. This is going to take only one parameter, which is going to be height. And then inside of here, I'm going to define another function, a nested function called just volume. And then it's going to take two parameters, the length and width. This nested function is going to return the length times the width times the height. So it's going to return the volume. And then the get volume function is going to return the nested function volume. So this is going to be my higher order function, so higher order, and my nested function is going to be my first class object. So to call this function, I'm going to define a variable called volume1, which is going to equal get volume, and then the height is going to be 3. And now I'm going to print volume1, and then the length is going to be 4, and the width is going to be 5. So now if I run this code, this is going to give me name length is not defined. Okay, I wrote it wrong. Length like that. Okay, sorry about that. This is going to give me 60, so 3 times 4 times 5, which is the volume of that function. Okay, so lambda functions. Lambda functions are basically functions written in one line and that can be stored as variables. So I'm going to create a function called add2, which is going to take a parameter x, and it's just going to return the addition of that number with 2. Now I could write it like this, but this is a very simple function, and we can save time by writing it as a lambda function. So instead of this, I'm going to define a variable called add2, like that. And this is going to equal lambda, so it's going to be a lambda function. My parameter is going to be x, so my input is going to be x, and then this function is just going to return the addition of x with 2. And now to call this function, I can just call it as if it was a normal function, so with parentheses, and then I'm going to define x, for example, 3. And now if I run this code, this is going to give me 5, which is 3 plus 2. So let me just comment this out so that it doesn't get too confusing. Okay, so I'm going to give you just another example, which is going to be a function called doubled or 0. And this is going to be a little bit more complicated. So it's going to be a lambda function. It's going to take a parameter x, and it's going to return x times 2 only if x is greater than 10. Otherwise, it's going to return 0. Now let's print that. So doubled or 0. Now I'm going to put a number greater than 10, so it's going to give me the double of that number, so 22. And now if I put a number smaller than 10, so for example 2, is just going to return 0, like so. Okay, so those are lambda functions. Now, lambda functions are very useful because they are shorter than normal functions, so they can help you save time, and they're effective if you want to represent simple higher order functions. However, they are only suited for short and fast functions, so bigger, more complicated functions cannot be written as lambdas. So now I'm going to give you some examples of higher order functions written as lambdas. So I've defined a list nums here, and then I'm going to talk about filter first, then map, and then reduce. So filter takes one input, one condition, and an iterable. So if you don't know condition, if you don't know what an iterable is, it's just basically something you can iterate through. So in other words, loop over. In this case, you can loop over nums because it's a list. So therefore, it's going to be an iterable. Okay, so let me give you an example. I'm going to write a variable called filtered nums, like so. Sorry, this is not okay. And this is going to equal filter, and then parentheses, and inside of here I'm going to define my lambda function. So I'm going to write lambda. It's going to take an input, so x, and then the condition. So I'm going to write x divided by 3 has a remainder of 0, so x is divisible by 3, and then the iterable is going to be nums. So this function is going to filter out every element of my iterable nums that's not divisible by 3. Now if I print filtered nums, so filtered nums, you can see that this is just going to print a filter object at a certain location. Now, to actually make the elements of my nums list appear on my program, I have to turn them into a tuple. So I'll just write tuple, and then this is going to give me 3 and 9. Okay, so that's the filtered function. Now the map function. So the map function takes one input, and then it takes a function, and it takes an iterable. And it applies the function to every element of that iterable. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to create a variable called mapped nums. That's going to be equal to map and then lambda, because it's going to be a lambda function. My input is going to be x, and then I wanted to return x times 2 and apply that function to every element of nums. Now, this is also going to return a map object at a certain location, just like filter. So I'm going to have to turn it into a tuple. So tuple, and then mapped nums. Okay, so I'm going to run this code. And you can see that every number is now doubled. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the reduce function. Now, to use the reduce function, you're going to have to import it from a module called functools. So I'm going to create here an import statement. Actually, from functools, I'm going to import reduce. Okay, now reduce is going to take 2 inputs, unlike the other two. And then it's going to take a function, and an iterable. And it's going to apply the function commutatively to every 2 consecutive elements of that iterable. So let me give you an example. I'm going to create a variable called reduced nums, which is going to equal reduce. This is going to be a lambda function. Sorry, lambda, like that. It's going to take 2 inputs, x and y, and it's going to sum them together, and they're going to belong to nums. Now I'm going to print this. In the filter and map functions, I had to turn it into a tuple because it just returned an object at a certain location. With reduced, you don't have to do that. So this is going to return a single object instead of a tuple. So 25, which is going to be the sum of all the numbers in nums. So all the numbers in nums. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. I don't have anything else for you. If you liked the video, if it helped you, please like. And if you want to see more content and support the channel, subscribe. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.